Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. Hey y'all. So, if you paid attention to the title, this is a replay. If you missed the live show, it was everything. It was amazing. The energy was amazing. The vibe was amazing. And we had an amazing time. However, in all the craziness that had to do with getting prepared for the live show and life be lifing, we decided to do a replay of a past episode. So we hope you all enjoy. Maybe you missed it the first time around, but enjoy. Willie stay knowing somebody that is involved in a murder. The man knows of several murder. Anyway, enjoy this episode, and we hope to see you next week with a new case. Welcome to Melanin Mysteries, where we explore true crime stories from the Black community. Today, we're discussing the tragic case of Lance Mason and Aisha Frazier. Lance, a former Ohio judge and politician, had a promising career, but his violent behavior behind closed doors led to the heartbreaking murder of his estranged wife, Aisha, in 2018. A beloved teacher and mother, Aisha's life was tragically cut short in an act of domestic violence that shocked Cleveland and raised serious concerns about how the justice system handles abusive individuals with power. Stay tuned as we delve into this devastating case. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie.
And this case is a little bit special because we have firsthand knowledge, or rather secondhand knowledge. I don't know, one of the two. Because Willie was friends
Yes.
with Lance.
Yes, and it just so happens that my ex-wife was good friends and worked with Aisha. So we was like all in the same circle. So yeah, this is I know. So, as we go into the case to talk about it, some information that may not be was said on the news or like in articles, I actually have some of that information. So let's go ahead and get it. So I'm going to start. It was a chilly Saturday morning in Shaker Heights, Ohio, and that's a suburb in Cleveland. Around 9 a.m. on November 17, 2018, when a 911 call comes in from a woman saying her brother is in the backyard stabbing his wife. Now, who is her brother? Her brother is Lance Mason. Lance runs into the house where he's screaming. Daughter Ava asks him, hey, where's mommy at? What did you do to my mommy? Lance replies, she's dead. That's cold hearted, bro. Damn.
And that's to a child, your
Yeah,
child.
to a
And you are
child. And
so
again,
callously telling your child that her mother is dead.
yeah, I mean, you know what? Just being very transparent. I can see him saying that, like literally. I can actually see him from the conversations that he had, very straightforward and direct. I mean, that's who he was. So of course he tells her she's dead. Lance's ex-wife, Aisha, had only come by to pick up her children from her ex-husband when she tragically lost her life. So a little tidbit about that. At one point, he was coming over to her house, but he was starting to get very aggressive with her, and I guess she felt intimidated, and so she set up where she was going to her pick up the kid. I mean, drop off and pick up from his house, which was actually his sister's house. And it just so happens that the house that he was living in, that his sister was living in, was actually Aisha's, and she was renting it to his sister. Ain't that crazy?
It is.
Yeah. So officers are dispatched to the scene immediately when the squad, and I do mean squad of several officers. So if you know anything about Shaker Heights, know what I'm saying? They on it. Know what I'm saying? I mean, nothing major happens at Shaker Heights. So, when something happens, I'm talking about all the cops are out. So, of course, they arrive on the scene, and all you can hear was a loud crash. A black Audi truck slammed into one of the officers' cars. Lance jumps out of the car to evade police. The police are out, guns out, screaming for Lance to put his hands up and surrender. Of course, he ain't paying no attention. He ain't giving no mind. The nigga just running, like just running. The police dogs are let loose on his ass. So they actually let the dogs on him, right? He run right back into the house he just fled from, where the police end up capturing him. So inside of the house with him are his two daughters and his sisters. The officers noted that he's bleeding pretty badly from his wrist, like he tried to slice his wrist before police arrived. To make matters worse, he injured the officer. So he ran into a car. He injured the officer. He slammed when Lance slammed into him. Both him and the officer was taken to the hospital. Aisha was found laying in a driveway. So another tidbit about that: number one, he stole her car. That Audi was hers. Lance didn't have a vehicle. So after he murdered her, he jumped in her car, tried to take off. He couldn't take off. He jumped out the car, ran back in the house, grabbed a knife, and he actually didn't slice his wrist. What he did was he slid down from, you know how if you bend your arm, so he slid straight down the forearm to try to kill himself. I guess that's what he called himself doing. And unfortunately it didn't work. Did
Mm.
I say unfortunately? Was that wrong?
I'm just gonna keep
I didn't
going
mean, no, I'm not trying to be, yeah, yeah.
because I don't have an answer for that. Like I
Yeah,
really
I
don't.
guess I would say I don't know because you know when I said do you say fortunately it didn't work, but no, yeah, he definitely tried.
No, because no, that would have honestly that would have been an easy way out for him is to commit suicide and take the easy way out. No, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So
I agree.
Aisha Millicent Frazier was born January 18th of 1973, and she was the only child of Millicent and Edward Frazier. She graduated from Shaker Heights High School in 91, and she went to FAMU where she earned her bachelor's degree of social science from their School of Business in 1995. From there, she came back to Cleveland and she went to Case Western Reserve and she earned her master's degree in business administration in 97. From there, she became a business consultant for Ernst& Young. She was there for 6 years, but that really wasn't her passion. So she decided to go back to school to become a teacher. So in 2001, she went to Ursuline College and she got another master's degree in education. So this woman is smart as hell. She is
Very
intelligent.
educated. Yeah, I'm talking
Mhm.
about very educated, man, and very sweet too. Yeah, very sweet. Go ahead.
So she started her teaching career at Woodbury Elementary in Shaker Heights as a sixth grade math and social studies teacher, but she didn't stop there. She was also president and chief executive officer at Cleveland Granville Academy until 2010. She wrote grants and she gave scholarships. She was also a member of the Followers of David Dance Ministry. She performed at Carnegie Hall in New York, in France, and in Spain. She was even part of the American entertainment delegations for the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. So she has been all over the world. Like that is
Yes, yes,
gold. That is
yes.
truly Black excellence.
Black excellence. Yes,
So
that
she
is
enjoyed
honest.
baking, traveling, and she loved her some Cleveland Cavs. But she loved her two daughters, Audrey and Ava, even more.
She truly did, man. And unfortunately, I mean, you know, which we're talking, and it was even a more a special situation because one of her daughter Audrey had Down syndrome. And I'm talking about, oh my God, the love, the attention that she gave to her daughter because her daughter went to school with my son. So they actually set it up where she was in the same class, like, you know, where her working in education, they didn't separate her. She was in the same class and whatnot. So again, you know, she was in class with my younger son, with Willie. So Willie actually knew her. So they was in the same class. So as far as Lance Timothy Mason, he was born August 26th, 1967 in Cleveland, Ohio. Unfortunately, we don't know his parents' names, but what we do know is that his father was a physician at St. Luke's Hospital. You said you was
I was
born there,
born
right?
there.
Yeah, you was born at St. Luke's. Okay. And he has a sister who is also a doctor, right? So he came from a educated family also. And her name was Lynn Mason. Not sure of any other siblings. He also graduated from Shaker Heights High School. But in 1985, he graduated from the College of Worcester with his bachelor's degree, and he played Alpha Kappa Psi. Now, which one is that? Don't the ones that be doing the dog all the time?
No, no,
Oh,
Kappas are red, you know.
woo! Oh, the ones in the purple be doing the dog, right?
The Q's are the dogs. Yeah, the Kappas is in red, man. Them Kappa parties used to go hard.
Oh no, man.
They
Oh
had
man, I
a
gotta.
time back at the University of Akron back in
Hey,
'07.
so look, do you want to look? I'm sorry, real quick. Do you want to hear something funny? So you know I used to do comedy, right? I'm gonna make this real quick. I was doing a joke. I was at a fraternity hired us to do comedy. So I did not know anything about fraternities or fraternities or whatever. What's the women's called? One of the fraternities and one is what?
One's a sorority and one the men are
Sorority. Okay, but you see, I don't even know that. And I did not know, so I did not educate me. I didn't know nothing. So I make a joke, and I was talking about how women that women in Cleveland be going to these. I said women in Cleveland be going to these schools or some nursing schools or whatever, and they be trying to start their own sororities. And I said they had one called the Gamma Phi Bad Bitches or some shit like that. And whatever I said, I just whatever one I said, which I can't remember, it just so happens that they was the one that was hosting a comedy show, and they booed my ass off the stage. It was horrible. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Just
ooh,
educate yourself on this. Yeah, they don't play. That's all I say that to
you
say
know, no, they do not play. You
they
know,
don't
I
play about
say
sororities. You know what I'm saying? It was the damn, it was the something gamma five. It was something whatever gamma five bad bitches. I said something like that, and they was not happy about that. But anyway, he
yeah,
played
they
with
take it
that.
real seriously because you know, the kid's dad is a Kappa.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
got caught up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the partying and the food. It get you every time.
No, they ain't
Um,
had no food. Yeah, that's a whole other story for another day. But you know, they ain't
all
had no.
right. So he went on to get his Juris Doctor, right? That's what it's called, from the University of Michigan Law School in 1992. He became a practicing attorney. November 19th, 1996 is when he became a practicing attorney. So I'm going to believe that's when he passed the bar. From 2002 to 2006, he actually served in Ohio House of Representatives, right? So this dude was, I mean, making it, and was an assistant minority whip during his final year. He was then an Ohio senator from 2007 to 2008. He was also the assistant prosecuting attorney for Cuyahoga County and aide to the late Stephanie Tubbs Jones. And so from 2008 to 2015, he served as a judge for the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. And they said he was an asshole judge too. I never had him, but they say he was an asshole judge. That's from what I heard. I mean, again, I never had him, but they say he was an asshole judge. So I know you're wondering, like, how this dude, this man with such held that's in such high regard, could end up in jail with the same felons he sent to prisons. So let's go ahead and get into it. So real quick, this gonna be, I may stop you, just to throw stuff in, little known information that wasn't, we didn't do research, but I personally know. Okay.
Right.
All right,
Of
no doubt.
course.
Go ahead, get it.
All right. So Aisha and Lance met at a Stephanie Tubbs Jones event. We aren't sure of the exact timeline, but Aisha would volunteer around the city and Lance was, in the political circles. But anywho, the two met and they fell in love, I assume, because they got married October 15th of 2005. So their anniversary, well, would have been anniversary just passed. And the couples welcomed two beautiful girls, Audrey, which was around 2007, 2008, and then Ava around 2010. And what seemingly is a match made in heaven, two successful individuals coming together to make a power couple. But again, things aren't always as they seem on the surface. So somewhere along the lines, things started to fray and the relationship started to deteriorate. So the couple separated March 20th of 2014. Lance stayed in their marital home and Aisha moved into an apartment and the couple shared custody of their girls. Now you would
Yep.
think he would let her have the house and shit, but I guess that was too much.
No, no, man. Very. I mean, and Melanin was a narcissist. I'm not gonna lie. He was a narcissist and very self-absorbed. Like the dude was a trip. And I mean, I know they're like, well, how would you friend with him? It's crazy. I know I end up friends with some of the oddest people. Like even my
You
friend
really
Jason.
do.
Yeah, I really do. And like I somehow we end up as good friends. Like he wasn't like that towards me, but that was just his personality. Maybe because I could look past it. I don't know. So on October 2nd, 2014, an entire family, which is Aisha, Lance, and the girls, attended Lance's aunt's funeral. They all rode together, and Lance was supposed to drop Aisha off at home and take the girl for the afternoon. The couple were talking about the status of their relationship. Lance got upset and while still driving started to beat the shit out of Aisha. Like really, he beat her like she owed him money. I'm not going to lie about that, right? He was slamming her head into the armrest, the dashboard, and the passenger window and door. And then he bit her in the face.
That's crazy, man. Like
Like, nigga, you got to be an angry ass dude to bite somebody in the face. Like,
what
damn.
the fuck could she have been like made him that mad that you're in broad day, like your kids are in the back seat and you
I,
wilding out like this?
So from conversation I had with him, because I had to add what happened. He said that basically she was supposedly leading them on. That's what he. I mean, again, that's that she said she was supposed to be leading them on. I guess they were supposed to be working on it, and one minute she says she is, next minute the girlfriend's in her ear telling her no or whatever. So I guess he flipped out. Again, no justification, but this is what from what he actually told me firsthand. So um, yeah, so she tried to get out, of course, and even while the car was moving, but Lance grabbed her by her hair. When the car stopped at a red light, Aisha jumped out of the car, but she fell before she could run. Lance put the car in park. That nigga got to be fast as hell. Cause she got out,
Mhm.
fell. This nigga put the car in park, jumped out, and continued to beat her while she was on the ground. Now, mind you, the children are in the back seat watching all this shit happen. And the girl was 4 and 6 at the time. So their older daughter Aubrey was nonverbal, but remember, because I told you she had Down syndrome. But Ava was screaming as she is watching this happen. Lance then gets back in the car and pulls off, leaving Aisha on the ground. That's some ruthless shit right there. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not go back and, once because we became friends after this. Just once he got out of jail, is when we became friends because we actually went to the same church together. And believe it or not, I used to lead a marriage class at church. Yes, I
Why you
did.
say believe it or not?
I
Like,
was sanctified, but I'm just saying, no, hold on, don't say that. I was just saying I was sanctified. I was a sanctified, you know what I'm saying? And I actually led marriage classes and he was in it and we got real close. You know what I'm saying? We really did. So that's how me and him became friends. But to say I never went back to see damn what he was in jail for. He basically just said that him and his wife got into it, domestic violence issue, and they put him in jail or whatever the case may be. So I just want to throw that in there.
oh, okay. No, I was just wondering. Like, tell him how you actually met him. Like before you met him.
Oh, so yeah, this is the crazy part, right? Small world. I used to be a real I used to be a avid word with friends player. And I used to always was only one person that could beat me. And I remember it was always L Mason, right? I mean, he used to beat me every single time. I could never beat him. And then all of a sudden, like for like almost a year, they just stopped playing or whatever, right? And I'm, of course, I don't not paying no attention or whatever. And then all of a sudden, those after a year, one day I get a request from them. We start playing or whatever the case may be. And I to this day, I don't know how I put one and two together, but one day we were actually in church, one of the classes and everything like that. Oh, I know what it was because his phone, when he was on the phone, I walked past and I saw him word with friends. I was like, "Are you L Mason on Word for?" He said, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh my God, bro, we used to play like months beforehand and whatever the case may be." And he was like, "Oh, that was you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you used to beat my ass."
You didn't say
I mean,
ass.
but it makes sense though. Look, he was educated. This nigga was in the Senate and was a judge and everything. He know these big words. I was just, what I'm saying? I didn't know I was good, but not that good. So it's small world. To say that it was a small world, then again, we became real close. Once we got in church. And I'm talking about this for like about a year or two, me and him like really forced a good relationship. Like I said, I used to be at his house, everything. I used to drive him. He didn't have a vehicle. I used to drive him home and everything like that. So yeah, that nigga
That's
crazy though.
crazy. Yeah. So Lance goes back home after leaving Aisha on the ground, beaten,
That's
and he
some.
calls his sister, Dr. Lynn Mason, and asks her to come and pick up the girls because he was going to shoot himself. This
That's
is
that
such.
narcissist shit like
I say
that.
that's
That
exactly what I say. That's that narcissistic shit. I
I
can't.
didn't whoop
I
your
mean,
ass, and so I'm gonna shoot
I didn't.
myself. I want to be feel bad for me. I'm gonna shoot myself.
And I ain't trying to be funny, but what is it when? Okay, let me not generalize, but I remember my kid's dad did that. We had been together for 7 years after being cheated on, like all this mess. I was finally like, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. And I'll never forget his niece called me and she like, he over here talking about he about to kill himself. I was like, okay, and so I was like, what you want me to do? I do it. Like I'm not trying to be
Man,
funny, like
let me
that
tell you,
sounds
though, I
so
think
mean,
I
but it's like
did.
that's that narcissist shit. Like you're not about to kill yourself. Don't play with me.
I did that shit one time with I did that shit one time when I was younger, so I'm gonna kill myself with Diamond Mama. She was like, "All right, nigga, see you in hell." I'm like, "Damn,
Because I ain't even trying to be
damn."
funny. I ain't gonna hold you because like that be that bullshit. Like you done took me through the fucking ringer. Now all of a sudden I'm gonna kill myself. All right, I, Okay.
Oh man, you need to see some look, man. It sounds like you need to see a therapist, Tiffany.
I do not need to see a
That was
therapist.
anger. That was anger.
No,
That
because
was
it just
anger.
seems like y'all seems
That
to
was
be all
you've
like,
been holding
why
that
the fuck?
in. You've
Cause
been
no, cause
holding
why
that
the
in.
fuck like y'all like me? Okay, so why the fuck do these men sit there and y'all act a plum fool, and then after we be like, no, fuck that, y'all, and cause it always come with the stupid voice. I mean, I know I fucked up,
Oh,
but
now she done brought
no.
the stupid voice out. Look, if anybody know a good therapist that you can refer, just send it to me in my DM so I can send it to Tiffany because it's obvious that it's a lot of past trauma that she's dealing with
Shit,
that
maybe
is
we'll get a
coming out.
sponsor for better help then.
That, exactly, man. That'd be good if we get a sponsor for a therapist and everything. We talk about our our progress. Oh, you can't be laughing off. Come on, this is a serious case. Go, all right, yeah,
Okay,
we gotta
sorry, I'm
know.
not
Damn,
laughing. Okay,
jeez,
so but that still is that narcissistic shit. So
it is.
anyway, he was arrested later that day. Also, when he was arrested, it was noted that he was in possession of over 2,500 rounds of ammunition and semi-automatic weapons. What the fuck were you doing? Were you going to war? So at a
Damn,
right, 2,500 rounds. Like the fuck was you about to do?
that's a
So
lot.
that's a hell
That
of a lot.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
And so at arraignment, the judge was concerned about Lance's mental state and ordered a psyche eval before determining bail. But his attorney argued that he wasn't suicidal. Nigga, you just said you were going to kill yourself. Stand on business, sir. Stand on it.
Damn. Oh, oh, you on one today. Jeez. And I just said earlier, was it wrong for me to say what I did? Oh Lord. That pain trauma coming out, it's starting to it's starting to show. Damn. Go ahead, Tim. Yeah.
Anywho,
Go ahead.
we getting back serious now. This is a serious matter.
All right,
So
serious. Go
Aisha
ahead.
sustained severe injuries to her head, face, and neck, including an orbital blowout fracture, which I had to look up. And that's a break or crack in one or more of the bones surrounding the eye. It's usually that thin wall of the orbit, that's that bony socket that holds the eye in.
Damn, man, he
She done
tried to
lost
knock
her
her
eye.
eyeball out. This nigga knocking eyeballs out, man.
Freaking ridiculous. So she did have to have reconstructive surgery to repair it, and she was kept into the hospital for her injuries. But once she was released,
What she
it
do?
said, I'm gonna since you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna stand on business. I'm gonna divorce your ass.
Mm.
And
She
she
said
also
it
arranged for
gone.
her children to start counseling. So the divorce was finalized on November 12th of 2015.
You know what? Okay, so look, to give you guys an idea of the type of person that Lance is, and I'm not making this up, right? I'm not making this up. And I did give him an opportunity to speak on his behalf, and he didn't reply to my message. Now we have been going back and forth because yes, I still communicate with him. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a horrible thing that he did, but I still communicate with him. Um, but he didn't reply, so well, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. You know what the type of person he is? The movie, Divorce in the Black. That's him.
Oh, he was Corey Hardrick?
Yes, I'm telling you, that's him. I'm not making this up. That is him. I am not making this up. Like real talk. And you know that from when I mean, just listen to well, you guys will be able to hear when you actually hear the statement or whatever. Like he's very like that's him. Like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I can see him. You know what I'm saying? I can see him going to the job. Like, bitch, I signed them papers. You need to be in that. That's him. Yeah.
And you know what? But even from looking at his photos, he kind of seems like he would be that person.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was, man. So on August 26, 2014, Lance was indicted for felonious assault, kidnapping, domestic violence, and child endangerment, and was subsequently disqualified from acting as a judge. On August 19, 2015, Lance pled guilty to felonious assault and domestic violence. September 16, 2015, he was sentenced to 24 months at the Lorain County Correctional Institute and 6 months in county jail to run concurrently. He only ended up serving 9 months of the 2-year sentence. Now, before he was sentenced, you know what I'm saying? Marcia Fudge, remember she was the former U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. She wrote to the judge on behalf of Lance asking for leniency. She said that he's a good man
He's a good man,
who made a
Savannah.
very bad mistake. And Lance accepts full responsibility for his actions and has assured me that something like this will never happen again. So about this, right? And again, there's no justification for putting your hands. He did knock their eyeball out. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? He didn't knock the damn eyeball out. You can't get no worse than that. It's just so crazy. If he was anybody else, they would not have went as hard on him as they did. But they,
I feel like 2 years is very lenient.
man,
You
look, I
beat
didn't know
that
people
poor
did.
woman in broad daylight.
Look, but we got to remember, no other charges against him. And again, there's no justification. We are talking
Kidnapping,
about.
kidnapping can come with a life sentence, sir. You got off very easy.
No, I'm not. Hear me out. I get what you're saying, or whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is they made an example out of his ass. Them judges, they was like, shit, man. If look, forget the good boy system. They all turned his back on him, and I'm not gonna lie. They made an example out of him. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but I'm just trying to say is if you look at other cases that's similar to this, and I have, they didn't give him that type of time, especially for somebody who never been in trouble with the law or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Did he deserve it? Yeah, man. He knocked the goddamn eyeball out. Hell yeah, he deserved it. In front of the kids, being left on the ground, he did. But I'm just saying they did make an example out of him. You know what I'm saying? They did. And they took that nigga for everything, man.
So June 9th of 2017, the professional board of conduct recommended permanent disbar. But he had never had any prior disciplinary actions, and he showed good character and reputation.
Stop right there.
During
This is when this is when it started. This is that, like that moment that when they say
he
and yes,
spiral.
that moment where it was like that twitch in him, and it just started getting worse after this. Right there, I remember when he found out about that, and that it started getting worse from that. But go ahead.
So, during the board hearing, they said that Lance's victim was vulnerable and suffered harm as a result of his acts. He failed to adequately explain the conduct that is the basis for a violation, and he also failed to provide assurances that the conduct would not happen again. You should be a fucking in there groveling. Like
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was
I
what
told
got
you
me was
it's yes, it was like the dude off of Divorce and Black. Like, there's no simply. He don't see what he did wrong. He didn't see it. I'm telling you, he did. We had conversations about it, man. And I used to be like he did not get it. Like he didn't get it. I'm like, we can't walk around beating bitches' asses. That's illegal.
but it's just like the thing that gets me is he failed to provide assurances that the conduct would not happen again.
That speaks volumes.
That
That's
yes,
just.
it does. That
But
right
that
there is
yes.
like what triggered me.
God
Like,
damn, just thinking about this, like, well, how was I friends with it? But one of the reasons I was friends with him because we were in church together, and I'm a firm believer is I'm that forgiving heart and me just trying to minister to him to try to get him to really like I really was trying to pour into this dude, man, and I think that's what kept me around because it kept me around because I'm looking now at all this shit, man. That nigga was crazy.
clearly. So it also says that he did not engage in the redemptive process. So I don't know exactly what that means or what they wanted him to do, but they said he didn't engage. So he was probably sitting there looking at them like, I got better things to do, is what
I bet
I
you it
see.
probably they probably had a list of things that they probably wanted him to do, maybe write a letter, like certain things like that. He probably was like, I'm not getting involved in that because again, in his mind, he thinking I do shit wrong.
Maybe. So on September 1st of 2017, the board did give notice to the Ohio Supreme Court, and they issued an interim felony suspension of his law license, and that suspension was indefinite.
I remember that day when me and he came um September 1st, 27. I do remember it was, I end up either on that day was before it was after it, immediately after it, or right there. It was on a Wednesday. That's all I know because the light group was on Wednesday or whatever. And I remember he came in, I'm talking about angry. That he was pissed because he was really banking on that. Like in his mind, he was thinking that he would be able to at least be able to practice law again. Like I think he already had it made up that he would never be a judge again, but he thought that he would at least be able to be a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Because he was, as far as because he couldn't work. You know what I'm saying? That like nobody wanted to hire him. He didn't have no job. This whole time he didn't have a job. So that's what he was. That was the whole purpose of him doing that because he wanted to try to get his be able to practice law again. And then they shut that down. Again, there was another click. There was another in his mind, and it just was like he was pissed. And then look, check this out. So of course, he's left to pick up the pieces of what had become of his life. So you got to imagine this dude was a judge, prestige. I'm talking about recognition, money. You know what I'm saying? All of this, and now you are living back with your sister because you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have nothing. You can't see your kids. Your wife don't want shit to do with you. You don't got no law license no more because you lost that. So you're in a messed up situation. And not only that, Aisha also filed a restraining order against him, and she also filed a civil suit against him and won $150,000. So there go his 401. So that nigga lost his money there. So it all of this, it's just adding on.
Snowball.
And again, yes, I'm not justifying it, but I'm painting a picture. All of this is just starting to add up. Starting to add up. And I remember this. So in November 2017, Mayor Frank Jackson gave Lance a second chance and hired him to work for the city of Cleveland as the city's minority business development administration. They went nuts about that. I remember we was in church and he was like, man, like, what do they want? I never forget. He was like, what do they want me to do? Like, what do they want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, really though, what do they want me to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, what's going on, Lance? And everything like that. He's like, I'm just fucking. That's a matter of fact, he cuts. He's like, man, I'm just fucking pissed right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what they want me to do. And come to find out, he didn't tell me exactly what it was. I found out from somebody else that I guess it was all on the news. It was on the news that Frank Jackson gave him the job and people was making a fuss about it because they'd be like, why would you give this felon the job? Which is so crazy to me, but that's another story. And they were saying that other people was qualified for it and they should have gave it to him. So back to the arrest, right? So let's back up. That was another. Remember, it's adding up. So again, let's talk about it. You lost your job, you lost your house, you lost your law license, you just lost $150,000. You're living with your sister, you have no car, you got no job. They gave you a job, and now they get your face plastered back on TV. Talk about why do this woman beater deserve a job? That was just another blow to him. So we could talk about the arrest. So after now, this is the original. This is the arrest, not the first one when he beat her, but this is the one when he actually killed her. So after Lance was cleared by the hospital, he was taken to jail. He was charged with murder. He pled not guilty at his arraignment via video chat with a public defender. He waived his reading of the indictment, reading of his constitutional rights, and waived his right for a speedy trial. All judges in Cuyahoga County recused themselves from this case because they couldn't, right? He was granted a $5 million bail. Now, me personally, I feel like he shouldn't be even granted no bail because hypothetically, if he had the money, then what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. So Mayor Frank Jackson said the city of Cleveland is aware of Lance Mason. Because of course he was a minority business development administrator, and he now got felony charges in the city of Shaker Heights, Ohio. I extend my deepest condolences to the family of Aisha Frazier, especially her children. Mr. Mason has been terminated effective immediately. The city of Cleveland will cooperate fully with the city of Shaker Heights in this investigation. Of course, I would have hoped that he would have been fired immediately.
Yeah, but he probably caught all type of flack from
Oh, he
that.
did. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's probably why he didn't get reelected. To be honest.
Yeah, they was on his ass. You know what I'm saying? They was no, he didn't get reelected because his bad ass goddamn grandchildren. That's why he didn't get reelected. Remember the one of his grandchildren
Oh, that's right.
killed the
Yeah.
nigga, and then the
Mhm.
other one got killed. I think the same one got killed. Yeah, it was his bad ass grandchildren. That's what it was.
Well, that didn't help. I mean, this situation probably didn't help
Not at
either.
all. Not at all. But it was some bad ass grandkids.
Yeah. So the city of Shaker Heights schools also issued a statement. They said, quote, she touched so many of our children's lives and will be deeply missed. Her loss is unexpected and the impact of this news on our entire school community is unimaginable and profound. So the Shaker Heights Teachers Association started a GoFundMe at the time to help the family with funeral and living expenses. And they also had planned a candlelit vigil for her at the Woodbury Elementary School where Aisha taught for 16 years. You
And
want to
check this
comment on that?
out. Yeah, actually, yeah, my ex-wife was actually the one responsible for taking the food. So every day after school, she'll go pick up food. So they had somebody will order food. And I'm talking about this happened for months and months. They'll order food and she'll pick it up and then she'll take it to Aisha. I think it was her godmother. Yeah, I think it was her godmother would take it over there or whatever. And I was actually at that the visual they had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about it was So man, it was so many freaking people that were ridiculous, man. When I say she was loved, like she was a good teacher. She was one of the a good teacher, number one, and number two, the community. I mean, you guys, she went to Shaker, she grew up in Shaker, she was well known. When I say it was so many people there, it was freaking ridiculous, man. I'm not gonna lie, she was loved. She definitely was.
And she was absolutely gorgeous too.
Oh yeah, she was fine. I ain't gonna lie, she definitely was.
So
What?
Aisha sustained 59 knife wounds, 12 of which were on her hands, and he sliced her throat 3 times.
He actually almost decapitated her like that. So a friend of mine, Jason, because with him being a lawyer, he was able to get access to the actual case and look at the pictures. He said that he damn near decapitated her, like he was trying to cut her head off. That's how it was. Like it was hanging bad
Oh,
ligaments.
God.
I
That's
know. I'm
horrible.
sorry.
No,
My
I mean
bad.
it doesn't matter. It's just like that's rage. Like that is pure rage. To
He literally he tried to. So the thing behind it is a little unknown fact. Okay, so 3 days before this happened, me and Lance was in the car, right? Because it was on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yes, Wednesday. That Wednesday before it happened, remember we had life group every Wednesday. Um, I think that Wednesday was or me and my ex-wife's anniversary, right? And the bitch didn't give me nothing. That's a whole nother story, man. She wasn't anyway. Um Me and Lance was sitting in the car. He was talking about, you know what I'm saying, talking about his and this is the crazy part. He told me they were still married. Do you remember I told you that?
hmm
Yeah, he was saying that he made it seem like they were still married, and they were having conversations about their marriage, and he was under the impression, and I'm starting to realize he was just delusional that they were going to get back together. But he had no idea that I already knew that she didn't already moved on. She had a boyfriend, this young dude. She had some young dude from New York, and he actually proposed to her. Right? He didn't know that, and I was about to tell him that, but of course I knew because remember my ex-wife and her were friends or whatever. So I never forget he was asking me like, "Man, what should I do?" And I'm like, "Man, you just need to focus on you, bro. If I were you, I would just focus on you. I would just leave it alone because." And he was like, "I know that." And one of his main things was he kept saying, I mean, I know she probably gonna start talking to other men or whatever. I just don't want her to have all these men around my daughter and everything like that. And I'm like, bro, I get that. And I think Aisha is smart enough not to do that. He's like, you don't know her how I know her. And look, I ain't about to argue with you, dog. You didn't beat that bitch ass, and he bigger than me, so he might think I'm her and beat my ass. So I ain't gonna argue with you. So yeah, I was just that's just so crazy. And that was 3 days before all this happened. We was in the car talking, and I was like, man, go ahead, just do you.
Tell
And
them
like,
what Lil Willie said about the
oh,
situation.
so this so crazy. This how we used to hang around that Tuesday. So that Tuesday, I was at his house helping put up. Me and Willie went over there to help him put up bunk beds because he said that his daughters were gonna start. This was gonna be their first week. That's crazy. Their first week spending the night over their house. So he bought bunk beds and he wanted me to. I came over. Me and Willie came over there to put them up. So when everything happened and Willie found out, Willie came like, "You hand me over a killer's house, Dad." I don't mean to laugh though, but he's a little kid. He was so serious too. Like, "You hand me over a killer's house." I like, I didn't know he was capable of doing that at that time. Oh damn. Oh man, we can't
Bad
come on. This is
parenting.
serious. Yeah, it's just we can't
Bad
come on.
parenting.
I know,
So
right?
the Fox iTeam News, they went on to interview Mayor Frank Jackson because they wanted to know how a convicted felon was able to get a job with the city, and this is after everything happened. So apparently, the city offered Lance a job before conducting a background check, which really isn't uncommon because the full hire is usually contingent upon the background check coming back clean. So there were emails with the job offer in the formal acceptance. And then 14 days later, internal emails show that HR workers found a hit on his background check for the felony convictions from the prior domestic violence situation. So then records also show that the city officials reviewed the information and proceeded with the hiring. And Mayor Frank Jackson said that he believes in second chances that Lance was hired because he was the best man for the job. Now,
What's
I
wrong
agree
with
with that.
that?
Like
Yeah,
nothing, absolutely nothing. Because my thing is this: like people, just because I committed a felony does not mean I can't perform. You know what I'm saying? I can't come back and be a productive member of society. Now he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but that doesn't mean that happens in every situation. And just because I'm a convicted felon does not mean I need to work a low paying job. Like that's
But
not
not
fair.
even
If
like,
I'm qualified, let me. You know what I'm saying? People do deserve second chances.
I mean, shit, I had a felony. I got man expunged, but I was able to get, thank God I was able to get a job. Well, I caught my felony while I was working where I work at. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, you can't put it like it's a scarlet letter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it killed me. People talk about people with felons and talk about, okay, he paid the dues to society, he should be out, but then you want to put that stigma on them where they came and get a job. If he's qualified for the job, he served his time, and he don't say finished, did the probation was satisfactory. Why can't he get a job? Now again, his felony for beating somebody ass. I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, have him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they have them working around women. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah,
job or
like that.
something like.
If your felony was you robbed a bank, you should not be able to work in the bank or
Yeah,
work
exactly.
around money.
Yes.
Like
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
I can see. Yes, but
Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah. So anyway, so on August 20th, 2019, Lance pled guilty to aggravated murder, felonious assault, violating a protection order, and grand theft. He said, I wish to take full responsibility for the crimes I committed, and I do not wish to prolong or delay in it or hurt my family or Aisha family anymore than I already have. So Aisha's family and the prosecutor wanted the max sentence of life without the possibility of parole, which I totally get. Aisha mom spoke and gave a victim impact statement. Crazy thing is, I live directly behind her mom. When I say directly behind, literally, I can jump over the fence and be in her mom backyard. That's how close we used to live. She is a mean old lady, though. I ain't gonna lie. She was, but once you got to know her, she is sweet. It's like she was like the sweet and the what they call the sweet and sour bear. You know what I'm talking
Sour
about?
Patch Kids.
Sour packet, yeah, like she'd be sweet, but then she'd cut you like, damn, you were just saying hi to me, offer me some lemonade. Now you talking about get the fuck off my lawn. No lie, know what I'm saying? But she was that that's just old people, I guess. So Lance attorney Thomas Sanasis, I don't know the dude name, and Kevin Spellecy asked for a chance at parole, even if it would be 40 or 50 years. And this is what they said. They said, in an inhumane world, it would be the humane thing to do. And that's
First
what
of
Kevin
all,
said.
first
No,
of
like
all,
I said, no, like, I mean, no offense. He took her, he brutally murdered her. He
no,
brutally,
I
after he, go ahead.
I ain't got nothing to say about that. I'm just saying if the man was 45 when he was arrested, 40 or 50 years, he might be dead anyway, so it's still a life sentence. So you could have kept that comment.
Ah, man, yeah, this like his ass up, man. Know what I'm saying? Like his ass up. So Lance spoke on his behalf for about 10 minutes.
That's
Are
a
we gonna post
long
that? Are we
statement.
gonna post
No,
that?
no, we
No.
are not posting that 10 minutes of his
It,
statement.
it's
I don't
it's
want to
it's
hear
I
no
mean
rambling from a narcissist.
it's not, it's rambling, and it's just narcissist, like the
It,
like dialogue.
Nobody wants to hear it's on YouTube. You can YouTube it, but we're not about
Yeah,
to sit
check
here
it
and
out.
pull
Yeah,
the
and
10 minutes
listen to
of
it. And when y'all
rambling of a
hear,
narcissist.
yeah, and when you hear it, it's crazy, man. Like he literally, like he did not let that lady live. Like when I say he didn't let her live, I mean, of course he took her life, but I mean, like you could tell he just, I mean, he probably,
Cannot take
uh,
responsibility for his actions as a typical
no,
narcissist cannot.
no. Yeah, so anyway, he talked for 10 minutes. He expressed to the judge that he became obsessed with protecting his daughters from falling victim to sexual abuse. And that I didn't know. When I say I didn't know, he made it about his daughter, but in reality, it had nothing to do with his daughters. It was about her. You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
just used that, you know what I'm saying, to euphemism, but no, it was
Yeah,
about her.
he wants to be able to control typical narcissist. He wants to be able to control everything and everyone around him. That's
Yeah,
all that was.
exactly. So he claimed that he learned that somebody in his family was abused as a child, and he didn't had no idea. So he became just obsessed with protecting his children. Aisha
Sounds
had
bullshit
started
to me.
dating, huh?
Sound like bullshit to me.
But it was bullshit. So Aisha had started dating, like I told you, with the young man from New York, man, and he proposed to her. After he was released from jail, and he didn't want any man around his daughter without him being there as well. It was like, come on,
Typical narcissist. So what you gonna? So what we gonna live together when we gonna raise these kids, and then I'm dating and you dating too. Like that's that typical narcissist shit. Let
Again,
me live my life.
he
She
wanted,
if she
yes, he
just knows
wanted
she's
her back. It was about her. And again, and again, a lot of this stuff I didn't really realize until after all of this was done, because I didn't know, I didn't take the chance. It was no need for me to look back at what happened. He made it seem as if they were really trying to work on their marriage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm giving him biblical tips and, scriptures to, the law about long suffering, about learning your, know what I'm saying, living with your wife in an understanding way, and know what I'm saying, making sure you're washing her with the word of God, like things like that. I'm giving it to him, and I'm not even really realizing that this nigga lied and they was divorced already. Yeah,
yeah.
he was delusional, like real talk. He was delusional. And I'm not making this. I literally realized this once we start going over the case. And I'm like, what, when did they get divorced? I'm like,
In
no, this nigga,
2015. Yeah.
yes, he literally told me I literally thought they were still married. I thought that doing it before this happened, they were still married. I had no idea they already had a divorce. He did not tell us that.
That's crazy. So the prosecutor, she said at sentencing, quote, whether you live on 30th and Superior or you're somebody that lives in Shaker Heights and has a law degree, we are not going to treat you any differently. And what that put me in the mind of, we don't give a damn if you a black man from the hood or you a rich black man. At the end of the day, you still a nigga. And that's exactly what I took from that statement. Because what do you mean? Why? I mean, that's how it came across to me. Or am I tripping on that one?
No, no, I get it. No,
So,
no.
yeah, because I'm like, I don't know. That's just how it came. Like when I read it, and I read it several times, and I was just like, so basically, I'm a nigga either which way it goes. So we gonna treat you the same. I was just like, okay, noted.
Well,
Um,
I think, yeah, I get it. I think maybe that, or maybe she was just saying at the end of the day, like, yeah, I don't know. That was poor wording on her end. Know what I'm saying? Like, because it did make it like, what do you mean by that? Know what I'm saying? But maybe she was just saying, I don't get, like, at the end of the day, what you did, no matter what walk of life you come from, what you did, nigga, you going to jail. I don't know.
and I get that, but it was just it was the whole 30th to Superior because we know 30th to Superior is the hood,
Yeah,
and
like, why would you say that? That's the part that did it right there. You know what I'm
and I think
saying?
that was really what did it for me. It was her targeting a specific area which we know is predominantly black. We know that's in the hood, and basically to me, you're just saying we don't care if you a nigga in the hood or you a nigga in Shaker Heights. We ain't treating you no differently. Like that's what I took from it. And I might, but it probably was that first sentence
I mean, they're
for me.
racist anyway, so.
So Judge Haas, who's the presiding judge, said before sentencing, quote, you deserve the maximum sentence that the state has requested. However, if there is anything positive to transpire out of this, is for you to make a difference while you're in prison. He entered into a plea with the prosecution and was sentenced on September 12th of 2019 to with eligibility for parole after 30 years. So he would be 85 years old if he were to be paroled out.
Yeah, nigga, when you that old, just stay your ass in jail. Know what I'm saying? Like, go just stay your ass in jail, right? Um, so Lance is
So
serving.
wait,
Oh,
wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
sorry.
wait, wait, wait. So then after that parole after 30 years, they then tacked on an additional 5 years for him injuring the officer at the scene.
This kid, don't even give him parole, man. Just jeez. So Lance is serving his time at the Toledo Correctional Facility. His scheduled parole date is September 2053. By that time, the rapture gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't getting out. A new law was presented called the Aisha Law, which will improve how law enforcement responds to domestic violence situations and provide added protection to those in high risk situations. The law was passed on May 20th, 2020 in the House of Representatives, but unfortunately, it did not pass through Senate, which is crazy because why wouldn't you want a law like that to pass? Why wouldn't you? Know what I'm saying? So this is a case of Lance Mason and Asia Frazier. If you are a victim of domestic violence, there is help available. I want you guys to know that. So let me tell y'all about just so look, I know, right? I already got a little story. So we could briefly touch on this. So during this time, you guys, right? I'm very transparent. During this time, know what I'm saying? For some odd reason, I was married for what 12 years. My ex-wife at the time just told me she did not want the marriage no more, right? So I'm just devastated. I'm like, what the hell, whatever the case may be. I don't know what's going on. Why is this happening? So I'm confiding in a friend of mine and my friend Jason, right? Jason, like, look, I'm about to tell you something. You don't want to hear this, but I heard this from a couple of people. He said, he said, look, they got a pack up at that school. It's it's a women, it's a group of women that are married and they all cheating on their husbands, man. And I'm like, no, they not. He said, yes, they are. They are. And this nigga was in line because everyone he told me in the pack end up getting a divorce and mess around with people, mess around, getting a divorce because they mess around with somebody else. And guess who else? she she was messing around with the principal of the school.
Mm, mm.
Yes. It
Mm.
left me broken. Yes, I'm not making this up, man. Yes. And it's so crazy. She used the situation with Aisha, right? Because what happened, our anniversary was on the 14th. I begged her, like, we got to do something. I'm still trying to get my marriage. I'm begged her. We went out on the 16th and ended up getting a hotel. And on the 17th, that's when we found out everything happened. The marriage was over after that on everything. I don't know what happened, but when she found out about Lance and Aisha, it was over with or whatever. So that was just a little bit of what you call that messiness that I had to throw in there. So shout out to Matt's wife.
I'm surprised you ain't say her name. I thought you were about to give her a shout out because you tell everybody else's name, but
I
okay.
know, right? I do, like, yeah, man. Oh shit, yeah. Shout out, somebody. Oh yeah. Oh, look. Speaking of, oh shit. Okay, look. I'm only doing this because, guess who messaged me?
Please don't
Khadijah.
tell. Oh,
Khadijah.
okay. We'll talk
Yes.
about Khadijah in just a moment.
Yes, we will.
So,
Okay, I apologize for that.
okay,
But
so
yes, that's
now,
it. Yeah, that's it. So go ahead.
so now it's time for.
Love, lies, and alibis.
All right. So on this episode of Love, Lies, and Alibis, since you made it so clear that you like to be transparent, we have a request for you
Mm,
for story time.
what?
Yes, we have a story time request for you.
Oh, hey, you
So,
know me, man. I'm ready. Look, I'll spill it all. Go ahead.
okay. So yesterday I got a message. I'm not gonna tell you who it's from, but I got a message in my DM, and they were asking about that chick that you always talk about that be texting you all the time,
Oh
the
shit, yeah.
weirdo
Let
who
me get
won't go
yeah.
away.
Hold on, let me look at it. I gotta try to find her message. I don't think I deleted. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
anyway, they were like,
I'm about to look up her TikTok. I'm about to give y'all her name too. Hold on.
don't do that. So it was
Oh,
like he said your co-host has a baby reindeer situation. What does that girl look like that texts him every day? And please tell me you've watched Baby Reindeer. So I'm like, I have no idea what a Baby Reindeer is, but apparently it's a movie on Netflix. So anyway, we get to chit chatting or whatever, and I'm like, I was like, oh, that's light work. I was like, because you used to have your squad or whatever before you got your life right.
mm-hmm. Speak about it.
So
So what? What they want?
so I
Go
happen to
ahead.
mention. So we're not gonna say names. We are not saying names.
Okay.
I happen to bring up the one who got her name tatted on your name tatted on her hand. So the people want to hear a story time about that situation. I can chime in on that one because I was
Okay. So what? Come on. I got a couple story
yeah, okay,
times
because the
about that.
situation. So when we're speaking on domestic violence and situations, and
Oh yeah.
yes, and we know that you were in a almost in a fatal attraction. We don't call her fatal attraction from going forward. We're gonna call her fatal
Wait, what
attraction.
situation though, man? Are you talking about the time when she pulled the
We
gun
don't.
out
We
on
don't.
me in front of
We're
you?
gonna do a quick rundown of the history of the situation
Okay. So
because they want to know.
she pulled a gun out on me and cocked it, and you took off running and left me
Hell
there.
yeah, I thought you were about to shoot my ass.
Yeah,
I
I
ain't do
appreciate
nothing. But
that.
anyway, no. You hey, I sent reinforcements in after I called to make sure you was all right, but nigga, she wasn't about to shoot my ass. But no, let's start let's like bring it back because we can't just start off talking about food.
I can't believe you're doing it. This is hilarious, though. I'm really laughing.
I know I really wanted to say something to you about it before, but I was like, no, I'm gonna just catch him off guard because
This
I'm
is
like,
like you guys gotta hear me out. This is so really like this was improv. This was not. This was not. What's the
it
word
was
I'm
so
looking
hard.
for?
You know, it's hard for me to hold secrets, but I had to hold this one in. Thank
Yes.
God I only had
Okay.
24
Go
hours.
ahead. Go ahead. Ask.
Okay,
I'm. Yes. Go ahead.
so give us a brief story time about Fatal Attraction. I want you to start at the beginning on how you met Fatal Attraction and some of the
All
things
right.
that
So
you
we end
did.
up. How do we end up? We end up meeting on social media. That's it. We end up going to school together, and we ended up going to school together or whatever, and she ended up being a friend, and we were going back and forth or whatever, talking whatever. Then we end up meeting and linking up. Man, it's so much about this story though, man. Because remember, I had to stalk her and everything. It's
Yeah.
so much about this story. So what I think, I'm telling you, it's so much. I think we need to really do another story time because it's so long. I think we need to just
Okay,
have
well,
another.
we'll make it into a
Yes.
part story time.
Yes,
So
okay,
give us
yeah, we'll do
part
a part.
one.
So I'll start from the beginning. I'll start on this, and then the next one we'll break it down. So me and her end up meeting on Face Facebook, and then kind of found out we ended up going to school together. So we said, "Hey, what's up? We need to meet up or whatever." So we decided to go out and meet up. We went out to Scorcher, as a matter of fact. No, it wasn't Scorcher. We went out to what's the name of the place? The place where they shut it down. Somebody got killed there.
Oh, the touch of
Yeah, the
Italy.
touch. We ended up going to Touch Italy. I ain't gonna say we hit it off, but good conversation, whatever. Good conversation and whatnot. And then we start, talking or whatever. I'm trying to see like what else happened because it just,
You gotta
yeah.
keep it real with the whole
No, I
situation.
am. Yes, yes. Yeah, just started talking or whatever the case may be. And then it was a situation where she was like, was it my birthday? It was around my birthday, whatever. She's like, "Hey, I got you something for your birthday. I want to drop it off to your house." And I'm like, no, no, you can just drop it off later. She was real adamant about dropping it off to my house or whatever. So she did know where I lived at because I end up having her I think drop me off or something like that. Something going on with my car, whatever. And she was just adamant about dropping it off. I'm like, no, don't drop it off. Now, granted, I wasn't even on no trash at this time, but my kid was at the house, and I'm like, no, don't drop it off at the house. Then all of a sudden, I look, and there's a car in front of my house, and I'm like, I know this not who I think it is. So go outside, like, what are you doing? No, 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 no. I didn't even go outside. I called her like, are you in front of my house? She's like, I'm only sitting here because my cousin lives down the street and I can only get reception here, and I'm trying to call her, and I'm like, well, you need to get away. Like at this time, I'm getting aggravated. Like, you guys need to get away from my house. She's like, well, I'm here now. Can I give you my gift? I'm like, no, you're not doing this. Do you know? This is so crazy. I'm like, if you don't leave, I'm calling the police. Like real talk, leave. And she would not leave. And I'm like, I kept telling her, leave from my house. Why are you in front of my house and everything? She's like, I'm trying to get in contact with my cousin. I'm like, well, go down the street or just go to her house. She's like, I don't want to just pop over her house. I'm like, if you don't leave my house, I'm calling the police, period, point blank. And all of a sudden I hear a bang on my front door, and then I hear a tire that skirt off real fast. And I go outside and it's a pair of Jordans on the front porch.
First of all, she
Yeah.
was dumb because if you tell me you don't want my gift and I bought you a pair of Jordans, you
But
ain't getting
I
shit
know
on
that's why I said so. We're gonna have to continue because it's so like you guys like real. It gets crazy. Like, if you know it get crazy, if I said she pulled a gun on me, Tiffany took off running, it gets crazy. So we definitely gonna continue that. It's too long of a story to do it right now, and I'm not about to do it right now. So if y'all running here, y'all got to tune in.
That's
Love
all you
that.
gonna give them?
That's all I'm giving them because it's so much. Yes, that's all I'm giving them. That's it. Because it's so much more.
You ain't even give like nothing good.
That was look. The tune in. I promise. If y'all tune in, a matter of fact, if we get a certain amount of listeners, and I'm gonna tell you what it is, I'm telling you, I'll go tell the whole story next time. I'll tell everything, all details. And you know me, I don't give a shit. I say whatever, and I even say the name.
No, we're not gonna say her name because she is the one who shall not be named because she'll be done popped up. I don't need her calling because I thought about it earlier and I
Dang,
just
so I
remember
can't
that.
believe you. You are hilarious. I did not expect this at all. Oh, you are funny. I am really trying to. Okay,
It
go
was
ahead.
so crazy because I was driving earlier and I was just thinking about her because I knew I had to spring this on you. And I was just sitting there like, I remember that one day out of the blue, she called me because remember how I had me and her had stopped speaking because I found out she was a liar and she was just constantly on some trash and she stressed me out. And I just remember I got a phone call from a no caller ID. And whenever somebody calls from a no caller ID, it's some bullshit. And I'm like, I ain't talking to nobody. There's no man in my life. So I'm sitting there like this. Before I answered the phone, for some reason I knew it was her. And I brought answer. And I was like,
Oh,
hello. And
I'm about to send it to you. Hold on.
okay. No, but when
This
she
her.
called, it was like, bitch, you're gonna die today. And click. I was like, no, bitch, I know your voice. I called you. I was so fucking aggravated. I'm like, can you say your bitch stop playing my fucking phone?
Hey, look, I just sent you. The one picture. Oh, we being messy today. I just sent you that one picture, and then you got
Okay.
to yes. Did you get it?
No, it haven't come. It hasn't come across yet. But yes, I remember.
It's in TikTok.
Oh, it's in TikTok. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, but I'll never forget that. Like, I thought about that randomly today, and I called you like, man, you get your bitch and tell her to stop playing my fucking phone.
that was it. Yeah, that was a lot, y'all. Y'all have no idea. All right, that's it. We gonna cut it there. We gonna do the rest. Go ahead, close us out, girl. Close us out.
Okay, well, we're not. Okay, so yes. Okay, so
Look,
Miss.
you
Okay,
want to?
Khadijah.
You trying to be on some trash right now? We can't. I got you. I
I
got
said
you. No,
Khadijah.
Khadija, I know that, but this what we gonna do then, man. Look, if you want to be on some trash, or we can be on some trash. Let's just do a live. We do a live and be on some trash, and I tell the whole story.
Florida, she gonna be on that live right along with us.
That's her fault. Go ahead.
Okay, so you want what day? Let's schedule this live so we can put this on the books.
It's anytime this week. It could have got be anytime this week because of the episode.
All right, let's do a live on the 24th.
The 24th, and yeah, we talk say it all because I yes.
24th at
Uh,
8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
okay.
We're gonna go live on Instagram.
It'll be whatever you want. I don't care.
All right, so I'm putting in my calendar so I don't forget because I'm at that age.
Yeah, we
Okay,
on
so
it.
Khadijah, go ahead and speak on
Yes.
whatever you have to
Yeah.
say,
So
please.
like I said, the situation with Khadija, we always got to talk about it. That's our baby. That's like the one for us. You know what I'm saying? So the issue with Khadija is, like I said, we if you know anything about Khadija or you don't, we will recommend that you listen to the episode. What episode is that?
9.
Episode 9. It really breaks everything out about who she is and everything that happened. Khadija is unfortunately a victim of a system that really failed her, you know what I'm saying? Because the help that she needed, they didn't get. And then when a situation occurred, they really, I mean, they did her dirty as far as the time.
And she was also a victim of domestic violence as
Yeah, that's
well.
why I said the system did it because they knew she was a victim of domestic violence. It was documented that she had postpartum depression and she was suffering from depression. It was a lot of things going on, and unfortunately, she murdered her husband, and she did it on Facebook. It was strictly an accident. It was not done on purpose. Now, we're not saying that she doesn't deserve time. All we're saying is the time that they gave her does not fit the crime whatsoever, and we're just trying to do what we can to help her so she can at least be able to get out and have a relationship with her kids. They gave her 34 years for a second degree murder when in reality it should have been not a misdemeanor, I apologize, but a manslaughter. It should have been manslaughter. So again, if you know anybody that can help, any lawyers that can help her, we also are trying to get her mom visitation rights to her kids. She has 4 beautiful kids that are in the custody of the victim, which is her husband at the time, mother, and of course they're not getting along, so she's not letting the mom, which is Khadijah's mom, see the kids. So we have posted a GoFundMe. We ask you guys just to donate. You guys donate to some of the dumbest shit. Some of you niggas out there really are paying for OnlyFans for some of these basic ed bitches, when in reality you could just go look up porn for free. Take that money, donate it for a good cause. This is for a good cause. This is for somebody who deserves a second chance and an opportunity to be able to live her life. You know what I'm saying? She already stressed out with everything. So help us out. That's all we ask. And real quick, the GoFundMe is not in our name. It goes to her mom. It has nothing to do with me or Tiffany. We are not on it. We're not listed on it. The money and the proceeds go directly to her mother, who is fighting her case. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, you cleared up everything with that. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed today's episode. I said this one was a little bit different since we had some firsthand knowledge, and we did have some more insider information from people who knew Aisha, which is why we were able to get a little bit more information than we normally
Yep.
were able to. So we do hope that you enjoyed, and I have enjoyed interacting with some of you this past week. I've been getting a lot of messages, and I have like really, really enjoyed talking to you all. So make sure you're following us on social media. We're on Instagram at Melanin Mysteries Pod, and then TikTok and Facebook, Melanin Mysteries Podcast. And make sure you share the podcast with your friends and family,
Yep.
your boyfriend and your girlfriend,
Your
and
side chick
anybody.
or somebody that's stalking you like I was getting stalked.
And your stalker had a stalker too, which was even
I
crazier.
know, that's crazy, right? How is that even possible? Okay, let's quit. Go ahead. Just get finished.
Okay, so let's say, and then join us on live. We are going to go live, so that will be Thursday, the 24th at 8 p.m. EST, and he gonna spill the whole tea. Like I can chime in because I was there for a
All of
lot
it. You
of
were there, you were there for
the
for majority of
majority of
that.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So tune in and we'll give you the entire story because it's a whole lot. Like it could have been a movie.
God damn.
You
A
know
good
what you
a
like a movie
Tubi.
like in that recent teaser, she got her movie. You might be able to get you a movie
I mean, first
deal.
of all you need is an iPhone and Tubi. That's all you need. That's it.
Hey, you might be able to get a Tubi movie off of this. But all right, we gonna go ahead and head out because that's all we got. So before I close it out, you got anything else to say?
Nope, we good.
All right. So just always remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
There we go. We out. Take it easy. All right, y'all. That's it for this week's episode of Melanin Mystery. Now, if you want to keep up with us, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Just search Melanin Mystery Podcast and hit that follow button. Now, if you want to take it a step further and get in on the behind the scenes tea, pull up to our private Facebook group called Love, Lies, and Alibis. But listen, do us all a favor. Answer the entry questions. If not, we will deny you. Faster than a broke dude in the DM. Y'all know how that go. Got a small business and looking to grow? We got limited spots for promos and partnerships. Just email us at podcast at melaninmystery.com before the inbox fills up. And last but not least, if you enjoyed the show, drop us a 5-star review or leave a comment. It helps more folks find us. And trust me, your boy trying to quit his day job eventually, so help a brother out, please. And we'll see y'all next time. Same mystery, same mess.